Who's that lady? Frosty lady! Of course, we're talking about Lissandra, the Ice Witch, the next Frosty champion to come out of League of Legends. In Lissandra's description, Riot defines her as a flexible, mana-efficient mage with abilities that emphasize crowd control, kiting, and mobility over raw damage. Sign us up. In a nutshell, she doesn't do as much damage as your typical AP mid, but has a whole bunch of icy CC and mobility to make up for it. What's more important, nuking down your foes or helping bring your team to victory? That is, of course, unless nuking down your foes is how you carry your team to victory. Let's take a look at her kit. Iceborne passive. After a brief cooldown, Lissandra's next ability costs no mana. Hitting an enemy with movement impairing abilities reduces Iceborne's cooldown. Next is Ice Shard. Lissandra throws a spear of ice that shatters on contact with the first enemy struck, dealing damage and slowing their movement speed for a short duration. Enemies behind the struck target also take damage. Ring of Frost. Lissandra freezes the area around her, dealing damage to nearby enemies and rooting them for a short duration. Glacial Path. Lissandra casts a slow-moving, long-range ice claw in a line, dealing damage to all enemies in its path. Reactivating Glacial Path teleports Lissandra to the claw's current location. Frozen Tomb on enemy cast. This is her ultimate. Now Lissandra freezes an enemy champion, damaging and stunning them briefly. Dark ice emanates from the target, dealing damage and slowing nearby enemies as well. She can also cast her ult on herself. Lissandra encases herself in ice, rooting herself in place briefly, and becoming untargetable and invulnerable. Dark ice emanates from Lissandra, dealing damage and slowing nearby enemies. This mage character can be played mid, top, or as a support, so if you get used to Lissandra, you can play her witchy ways nearly everywhere. Her passive makes her far less blue dependent than other AP champions. On top of all that, she's nearly impossible to gank due to her kit, slows, and escapes. We want it. We want it now. For the latest in League of Legends news, champion updates, and more, visit GameZone.com. Thanks for watching.